Well, look at this. It's already May 1st, so April is gone. It's out of the picture. It's May 1st. There's a lot to be done in the gardens. There's a lot to be done around the house. I'm just as busy as I can be. I bet you are too. I'm going to start with going through my tools out here on the porch and seeing what I'm going to be using today. I'm so glad you're here. This is Donna, and you're at Much Ado About Something. Let's get started. Okay, this is the old bag that I've used for years. I think Donald got me this maybe some time ago. I've been carrying it for quite a while. It's actually a tool kit, I think I can't remember if we got it at Lowe's or Home Depot. I know, excuse me, both of those companies, but I can't remember which came from where. I've been using this for quite a while, and I think I did get it for Mother's Day or birthday. Here are some gloves that I just have in my bag, and of course these are also from Harbor Freight. These are pigskin leather, and I got these from Harbor Freight a few years ago. I haven't used them too much. You can see I'm not big on gloves, but there are sometimes you absolutely have to have gloves. And so I've got some of these. Donald first gave me a pair of his gloves, and that's what made me fall in love with the Hardy gloves. Now these are the ones that I've used the most, and of course he's used them, and my goodness, they've got some wear on them, haven't they? And then I tried these. Somebody had gave me these in a gift, and I had those, and boy, don't this bring back memories. My little sweet babies, their tiny little hands, as they helped me in the garden. These were their little gloves. I've got some tools in here that can certainly be taken out, and of course you can see I've used these pigskin gloves, and they've been great. And I hadn't really worn them out. I just got these for gifts, and then sometimes I got them when they were on sale. So I did not want to not have them. Those are leather. They last a good long time. I really like them. And then these are just some little gloves that I've picked up or either got in gifts here and there. And as we get on down here, we see the ones that I've really worn a lot. I've got to clean these and get these things in good shape so that I'll have them, and my helpers, when they help me in the garden, they'll also have some good gloves to help me with. These right here are really good. Alright, so gone through the gloves and different things, and this is the thing that I use the most. The garden tote that I use all the time just come from the tool section at either Lowe's or Home Goods. Out here's the stuff I grab the most often. Here are pruners and cutters. And I'm telling you, some of my little snips that I use to deadhead and stuff are missing out of my basket. Here's more pruners. And I don't see my snips. I don't know where they're at. My little snips that, here they are, that I deadhead with. Love these things. I know I got these at Home Depot. I got the thin little cutting snips that help me deadhead, and I do have a few things that I need to deadhead out in the garden today, so I want these handy. But I usually keep all the handy stuff out here on the outer edge. These are my pliers, believe it or not. These help me pull up weeds. I can get down close to the ground, and I feel like they need oiling. I feel like they're really hard to open. But these are just, probably Donald gave them to me. Something he didn't use a lot. They're actually electrician's pliers, aren't they? Well, either way, I got those, and I got a lot of things in here that for labeling and different things. Some root starter. I was looking for that not long ago. I think I tore this all down and let everybody see what was in all of this. At one time, I did a view of what's in my garden tote. I don't know if you remember it or not. I'm sure it's in my... If you go and search my videos, you'll find it, what's in my gardening tote. And I shared with you why I got in here and why it's in here. But I can take some of these tools and go ahead and put some of this Power Oil multi-purpose silicone lubricant on them, so that they'll be loosened up a little bit for use. And then of course I got this new thing here that's got all the stuff that I would like to get for Mother's Day. Donald actually gave me a gift card and let me pick this stuff out at Harbor Freight to share with y'all, so that you would know where some of the things that I bought came from, and it would be a great idea for Mother's Day. Now this is a hard working tote right here that I have carried around out here and drug around this garden. Knocked it around here and there and used it a lot. Not complaining about this a bit, because it's been good. This is a bucket for tools that you carry around. And it's a whole different ball game. It's a little bit lighter. You can just throw the things that you're using right then in. It's not a big deal. It under no circumstances needs to be as bulky and heavy as this thing right here is. I'm going to shovel some of this mulch again that I've got out here. Now I'm thinking I might have got these at Tractor Supply. These right here. They have a little string on them. You can tighten them if you need to do that. And then of course these I got at Harbor Freight. These are the new ones. I've got this little extra bag. I don't know, sometimes Donald ends up with things that he's not using, or he's using, he'll get his stuff and he'll just put it into another bag that has more, that he's used for longer. He's used to grabbing. He likes to use his old bags more than buy new bags, because they're easy for him to grab when he needs them. And then he'll pass some little bags and things on to me, and I make use out of them. Well, I'm going to put these over here. Now that I have a potting shed, I no longer have to squeeze this into my basement laundry area. I can just go right on ahead and put all this stuff in my potting shed. Isn't that wonderful? I think I've got a basket in there that I'm going to put some of these gloves in. And I get to get some leather cleaner and clean these gloves. Now these gloves are really expensive. I want to say I got these at Tractor Supply too. They're leather. I need to condition them. But Harbor Freight's the way to go for leather gloves. Leather work gloves. I'm going to put all these things in my potting shed. Now there are some tools that I love to work with that I've had a very long time. I've had this little thing right here a very long time. It was made in Canada. And I use that little tool often. And there are other things in here that I use, like this little trowel. That's excellent for potting. So these are things that I use often. I always need scissors to open bags, different things, but I can't do that on my own anymore. And you know, after you get older, you strengthen your hands, especially. You'd think using them would make them stronger, but after you use them for a while, you just get fatigued. So anything you can do that lessens the fatigue on your hands when you're doing a job, it'll help you get the job done more effectively. That's why I use these when I'm pulling up big weeds that I can't pull with my both hands. I'll use this, and just use it down at the base of a weed, and you'll be amazed how easy those weeds will come up when you have a tool like that. All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get busy and get started getting some things done. You know, I've just been so much that I needed to get done. Now, if you know that it's hard to keep anything looking brand new when you use it in a garden, because you're dealing with dirt and you're dealing with a lot of things. And so it's not going to always look this pristine. Now, you might see this thing 6 months later and it's just going to have, you know, it's just going to be like it's been outside and been used in a garden. These gloves, they have not been used, and they've obviously not been used, so they look beautiful right now in their unused state. But when you use them, this is what they look like. They get stained, they get worn out, they get worn in, actually. You see how they can fit you, see the wrinkles of your hand when you wear leather gloves, how they just kind of conform to your hand. So these things are not going to be staying spotlessly clean. I can tell you that right off. They won't be like they're new after I've used them. That's what you want to call a true patina. When something's been used. Oh, I dropped a piece of paper. When something's been used and something's gave value to your life. I actually don't have enough hooks in this potting shed. I'm going to have to get Donald to. It came with these little hooks like this that slide into a little slot. I'm going to put these things in this basket. I've got these gloves so that helpers can help themselves, and I'll know where to get to them. Yeah, this building came with these little hooks. And I like that they have them. They have random places. You can move them around and put them where you want them. But it's just not enough hooks probably for what I'm going to need it for. So I might have to try to figure out some other hook system. Now, it's going to take me a while to get that thing organized, that little potting shed. There are going to be things that I'm just going to have to gingerly decide where I'm going to put what. I know that it's going to take me a little time to do it. I would love to just fling it all in there and be done with it. But this is a real working shed. It's a shed that's going to have to house the things that I'm using in my garden, front and back probably. And it's going to take me a little while to put it all where I know where it's at. I am so glad to have it. Today's a beautiful day to get started with a lot of things. And I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work in getting some of the things put up that need to go, while I'll be shoveling mulch. As you can see right there, there is mulch right here. So I'll be shoveling this mulch to help me get it where it needs to go. I tell you, the garden's looking beautiful. It's an exciting time of the year this year, isn't it? I literally am so excited that I could bust. Now here, we've already put some of the leaf mulch and everything that we put that leaf mulch around, it is just thriving in this garden. You can see there's going to be some flowers popping out of here soon. There's some yarrow, some lemon balm, some coneflower. Look how beautiful. We got one brave soul that stepped up first. Well, hello, beautiful thing. If you know, I use echinacea, purple coneflower, as a medicinal herb. I use that in my apothecary, so that's what that is. Now, I've been out here trying to get some weeds out this morning, just peeking around. Oh, that's a little rock my little grandson picked up on my family's property. He just thought it was so beautiful. It's a piece of quartz, so it's added to the garden. They love the ones that have the mica in it too, because of course to a little one that looks like gold. Adds beauty and sparkle to the garden and sentimentality. Love that, love it, love it. Now I've got these pieces of cardboard that I've saved. I've had them over here beside of my potting table, which they look a little rough, don't they? I mean, that just looks like a pile of trash, but it is valuable, believe it or not, in this garden. Now here's the Queen Anne's lace. It's one of the favorite things. Donald traveled for work. He stopped and loaded up a whole load full from the side of the road when they were in bloom. Let me get my claw. I call this a claw because that's what it looks like to me. And of course, this is a vintage one. It's been around for a while. Now, in my stuff, I saved the cord off of hay bales or pine straw. I don't buy pine straw, but if I help friends or whatever put pine straw out, I will save this cord. Now, here in my recycled box that I'm going to be using here soon, because it's spring, and I'll use these recycled seed cups probably for the 3rd year in a row. I've used these right here. You can see right there's the cord that I saved off the baling of straw. We provide straw for our chicken coop, and we also provide it for our rabbits. So that's why I have that. I save it off of the bales because it makes the best, strongest string for tools, the hanging, the keeping up of tools, and for other things like that. So I have that. But this here, let me see if I have my scissors, because I'm going to have to cut this to conform. I do. They're there beside of the weed bucket. I use this claw, or, you know, a lot of people call it a weed fork, different things. There's different names for this. But I've always just called it the claw because that's what it looks like to me. And it is excellent for clearing out your weeds so that you can get down to them, to the root, and get the whole thing out instead of just the top of it. These are weeds I've pulled this morning, or things that I've gotten in the garden that don't need to be here. And I just kind of rake through the leaves like that and then pick through and get them out of the garden area. Now, one of the reasons I really want to get these weeds out is because I'm going to use that cardboard that I've saved, these little strips, and I'm going to put it right here in these areas where I don't want anything else to be growing too close to what I have here. This is a time-consuming task. It's not one that I want to spend a lot of time on. You know, it's tedious to make sure you got all of the weeds and things out of your garden. It's also a wonderful part for you to check on things and see how things are doing. Now, we had to move one of these out from under here. There was an echinacea growing up under here. We moved it out, and it's doing great. We just put them close together right here, because, you know, planting plants close together saves moisture. It saves water. They can shade each other a little bit, and it really helps your plants, believe it or not. A lot of people's worried about overcrowding. There's a beneficial use to planting things close together. Now, I don't have near as much out here that we usually have out here, because I haven't really planted anything. I've been waiting a little bit longer. I could do a whole video on that. But I'm going to pick out a few of these weeds, get them on out of here, and get ready for the next step. Now it gets really hot where we're at, and there's a lot of places around here that's in a drought. And so one of the first things when you're in a drought for your garden is you want to conserve the moisture as much as you possibly can. This mulch pile right here, as it's added to the garden, that will help conserve moisture. Planting plants close together, that'll also do the trick. So there, you get set on certain things. You read the back of that seed packet and it says give it this much space, but if we all listen to that, that wouldn't be practical for most of us, because a lot of us don't have that much space to give a plant to begin with. So don't feel defeated or feel like you won't be able to grow your garden because you don't have enough space. There's many situations where the plants being grown close together are beneficial. And as you grow your garden, you learn that, and you learn how you can see this lemon balm is snuggled up to these flowers, snuggled up to all these flowers right here. The yarrow, and I like that. I think that's pretty. It looks full. You know, I like a full garden, and it just really looks good. I do have some spaced out areas around some things, and that's where I'll be planting some things that I grow from seed. And this garden's easy to water. It's near my faucet. That's right here, you know, right there on the side of the house. And I have the hose out this morning because I'll be doing some things that I'll need that water for. And so it's easy for me to water this garden, but it's expensive for me to water this garden. We have city water. There's the meter that they read how much water usage we have from the street, and there's good and bad to both things. Having a well is wonderful. Then you have to have a pump and sometimes a bladder to help your well, to pump the water up from your well. We don't have a pump or a well because we have city water, and it has a flow and water pressure to it, and so even if the power goes off, we still have water. So that's an advantage, you know, of having city water. I mean, it's not like it's always a bad thing to have city water. It's just not. It doesn't taste the greatest, but there are such wonderful filters now, like the Epic water filter. I've got the Epic water pitcher, and it is wonderful in filtering. It's the best water filter you can buy, and so you don't taste anything but clean water when you use an Epic water filter. I use one of those pictures, and I really like it. Now this is going back to this scrap stuff I've got right here. It's already starting to decompose, and that's perfectly okay. So the good thing about this is I can cut these areas right here. Now I love the Virginia creeper, but it's terrorizing this little tree that we've got right here. It just is. It grows up in between it. It makes this tree have to fight for nutrients. And so we're trying to eradicate it out of this garden, the Virginia creeper. A lot of people get this confused with poison oak. Leaves of 3, let them be. Leaves of 5, let them thrive if you want them in your garden. That has a beautiful leaf in the autumn, and it's a pretty vine, but I don't want it to take over. So, but this cardboard will help that not to get the sun. It'll help us to be able to get it out of here easier. So, oh, look at that little thing right there blooming. It's a coneflower, but it's a white one. So, you know, we'll put this type of thing up under here to block weeds. It's a great weed blocker. Now I'll just put a little bit of mulch under here on top of that. I can work that cardboard around some of these other plants, and that'll be a great thing. This is the one we moved. I can see it needs a little water. It's looking a little dry, but it won't take but a minute to water that and help it out. Let me take off that sad little leaf because it's got another one right above it. So we can take those off and help it get its roots back. Plenty of seeds coming back from where we planted this echinacea, this coneflower. Now under here, this grass grows to be really big. My little grandson said, "It's funny, Grammy, grass grows where you don't want it, but it don't grow where you do want it." That's so sweet. It does. It grows in the gardens, and this is big old fescue, so they make big, beautiful heads of grass, but they'll just be where you don't want them, right here in the middle of your flower bed. So I try to get those out early. I'll cut that cardboard to fit around flowers and things that I want to come back, but I don't want to have a lot of weeds around. It's already starting to decompose, so it'll fit right in. I'll just put mulch over it. I'll leave this little area right here as a walking place. I mean, any garden you have to be able to get to it. I could come from the front, but when I go around, I'll show you, it's a big step. So in order to work more efficiently and not harder, I'll just make a little path right over here where I can get in here and weed all these flowers, because this is a pretty good step. It doesn't look like it, but for me it is. I am 5'3", and I think the camera makes me look a lot bigger than I am, but I'm only 5'3", and I'm not going to tell you my weight, but it's not as big as most people think, so evidently the camera makes me look fat. Now there's more Virginia creeper. There's a little dandelion. Never miss an opportunity to spread a dandelion if you know the uses of it. Let me just go this way, the way that it's going already. I love dandelions. I always blown on them, picked them, and enjoyed them with my kids, my grown children. They're grown now, but now I do it with my little grandkids, and it's so much fun to play with a dandelion. I think I'll probably do it my whole life. Okay, focusing back on this area. So I'm just going to work on getting a little bit of this Virginia creeper out from around this lacy elderberry. This lacy elderberry does not need the support of this Virginia creeper. So I'll have quite a bit of that to pull up. I might need my pliers to get out here and pull down close to the bottom. You can see it's working its way all in here. Now Virginia creeper is not invasive, but it is prolific. So if you allow it in your garden, just know you're going to have a lot of it. But it is so beautiful growing up the side of a building in the autumn when it turns orange. It's truly a very beautiful vine. But if you have a small space, it's a lot of work to keep it. Oh, I love that salvia. I almost cut this salvia completely down in the fall because it was growing sideways and it was looking crazy down here. Really dried up, and of course it came back so pretty that, yeah, couldn't do it. Now I'm so glad that I didn't. because I enjoy the way it looks. These rocks that we've got right here that we collected off of family's land, I so enjoy the way that looks spilling over those rocks right now. To me, that's beautiful. That's the kind of natural thing that happens that really brings joy to me. Even in my small space and even in my small garden, those things are exciting to me. I love that this thing grew forward and is spilling over the rocks. And though it may not look great down here at the bottom, it sure looks great from the front. Absolutely beautiful. Still small weeds that'll just, you can walk around while you're enjoying your garden and pick them out. I mean, that takes no time at all. These here are more coneflowers that came off the seed heads when they fell. Of course, it takes 2 years for a coneflower to bloom. They're biennials. So you plant the seed, it comes up, and you won't get a bloom until the 2nd year. Well, that sounds like we've got a jet going over. There we go. Can you see it? Yeah. Well, there are so many tips and ideas that I want to share with you that I'm not able to share all the time, but I enjoyed sharing with you what I could. Thank you for joining me today, and like always, until next time,